Hello and welcome back. Last video we set up our file and then we imported our sky image as well as our forest image. And then we came back and we were introduced to masks for the first time, and we applied one right here to our forest. And that mask, if I was to turn it off, would reveal our sky. Now when I turn that back on, our sky is gone. And we also applied one of our blending options up here to get the rest of our sky off of our picture. Now you may or may not have had a white gap down at the bottom, so if you did, we also added a third layer, and that was just simply our background that was black to fill in the box. So now we have black all the way up to our tree silhouettes. We made a little folder to hide all that stuff together, so if I need to move the trees and the ground, they're all packaged up. So today in this video we are going to move on to the moon and the road. And I'm actually going to get rid of this wolf head because we're not going to do that one yet. We're just going to do the moon and the road in this video. So let's go ahead and let's import those pictures. So the first one I'm going to bring in with File in Place is my moon. Of course, I hit enter to keep that. And I want my moon to be below my ground. So my ground is actually going to be the very highest thing, but yet it's above my sky because I'm going to apply it to my sky. So wherever in your picture you think your moon would look best, I'm just going to plop mine down right here in the center. And then, like we did the other day with explosions and fire and smoke, we're going to come back over here and we're going to change our mode to darken, and that should, lighten, and that should knock the black off of our picture. Now my moon, the one I chose, had kind of a blood moon, like a harvest moon. Like it had a lot of color to it. It wasn't just a white or grayish moon. So if you apply your moon and you're not really happy with the colors you get, feel free to go back and Google the word moon again, and you should be able to find this picture. So there's my moon, and I like how it's kind of hazy. Looks really nice. And that was really it, really simple, because all I had to do was change the mode to lighten, and that knocked all the black off for us. But the black is still there. I just can change it back to normal, so I never permanently deleted anything. All right, let's move on to our road. File, Place. And here is my dirt road. I really like this dirt road because it has lots of windy roadness to it. It has lots of depth. And it's kind of hard to see because my trees are in the way, but that's okay. Now if you look at my picture, I kind of flipped it. So I'm going to zoom in here. And this needs to be on top of our moon. So you may have to resize your stuff. If you can't see it very well, feel free to throw it on top of your ground, and then you can come back and we'll drag it down here in a second. So we need to remove everything but our dirt road. And I'm going to apply a layer mask again to my dirt road. So there's my white box. I'm going to get my paintbrush, and this time I'm going to get a fuzzy brush because I'm going to end up having to get really close to my edge, and I want it to kind of dissipate outwards and not be very harsh. And just like before, black removes and white adds. So I'm just going to come in here and start getting rid of everything. I have to be careful when I get a big fuzzy brush because it kind of wants to fade in a little too far. So with your road image, you're just coming in here with a layer mask, and you are removing everything but the road. want any of that green on there. Zoom in. Get up in there. Use those bracket keys over there by your P. Make your circle bigger and smaller as you need to so you can really get in there where you need to be. A smaller one as I get up here a little farther. Now, this is why I like this road. I like how it kicks back and it gets smaller and it turns a couple times. It's going to look really nice coming into my moon. All right, so there is my road. Now, in my video over here, I did take the time to remove the copyrights, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to mess with that right now. But if you have anything like that you would like to get rid of, come back to any of those tools we used on Zits, like patch or healing, spot healing, and you can play around with that on your picture to get rid of them. Now, when you do that, you will have to right-click and rasterize that layer before you can come in here with any of those tools to fix it. And that one didn't work so hot. Oop, wrong button. Just blared you out if you had headphones on, didn't I? So anyway, you can take the time to do that if you need to. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. So the next thing is we need to position our road where we want it to show up. Now, I do want my road to kind of come from the center of my moon. Oop, I have some little spots I need to mask off a little bit better. There we go. And I'm going to take it, and you can rotate if you need to. I'm going to have mine kind of come into this tree. On here I have it coming down into here, but I'm going to change it up for this video. So it's going to wind down, and it's going to run at the edge of this tree. And when I replace my layer and put it down here above my moon, but behind my ground where it's supposed to be, now my tree is going to hide that edge. So you might have to twist and move and bend your road around to make it fit with whatever picture you have. Now the next thing I did over here for this photo is I again changed the blending mode up top, and it kind of helps it fade out a little bit. So I'm going to change mine to overlay because it allows for those sky colors to come through, but yet my road is still there. Now overlay looks great for mine. If overlay does not look good for yours, then try some other colors. One thing I do like to do sometimes is when I overlay something, like it looks great, but I'd like for it to be a hair stronger, a hair more present, more visible. So what I'll do is I'll right click on that layer and I will duplicate it one time. And then boom, there it is on top. That almost made it a little too strong. So I'll just come in here and just play with my opacity on that second one until I kind of get it where it's a little more visible than it was originally, so it stands out a hair better. But that's just my preference. If you need to for your photo, go right ahead. Alright guys, so in that video we have added our moon, and we came back and we masked our road. And if your road was not strong enough, we duplicated it. And we also applied some of our blending options over here. So be sure and save, like I'm doing. I'm going ahead and saving, and you can move on to the next video.